unfortunately, students with special Thank you. Students with special needs get deprived from it all because the most active one, the thank you, the extroverts, they try to drag teachers' attention as much as possible. And naturally, the student with special needs gets behind because there is no enough teachers' attention. And unfortunately, any educator, we don't have enough time and energy to learn this all, to practice, and then become a confident master in inclusivity. So I will be talking about some strategies, what did help me in my experience, because I didn't have special ed background or experience. It's just we had English classes for public, and the age range was 14 to 60, and we had diverse teenagers and young adults and adults in general. Public free English classes, free for public. So it's just there was a person who wanted to learn English, but just nothing was available in the country. They heard about us, they came to us and they asked, and then just because yes, of course, I was shocked first. I had the fear of failure, but I tried to encourage myself and motivate myself, saying that that's okay. If this person is here, it means that this person wants, and we can come up with something. So naturally, we started practicing inclusivity, and there were some key features that facilitated my experience. And third obstacle and challenge that I would like to bring to your attention today is fear of opinion expression. Usually all the human beings, we all are not confident in expressing our opinion unless we have a great experience in public speaking. So students most of the time are shy to participate actively in the class, and people with special needs, just because they are isolated from birth, from the day one, they have a fear of just saying something, talking, or just expressing their opinion. And when it comes to language learning, one of the things that you have to practice is speaking. If you want to speak the language, you have to speak it. So that's why most of the time, all of the students with special needs, they do have a fear of opinion expression. And not only students with special needs, some introvert students or students with learning disorders, they are also afraid of expressing their opinion. Just because, again, society is not ready. Yes, about 50 years ago, UN started doing a great job, and I still don't know exactly what educator, the individual who started inclusivity, who started it all. And I've been doing a lot of research, but I could not find a specific, an individual who, let's say, who came up with this approach. Yes, there are many diverse resources bring different options. So, but the fact is that it is new, and only in 1970s, UN started bringing this topic to everyone's attention. So it's relatively new. Yeah, society is not ready because inclusivity just it has its own rules and regulations, and it just happens. So society is not ready, and there is no manual, there is no instruction, there is no guidance, and that's why it's very challenging, not only for individuals with special needs to integrate to the society, but also the mainstream. For example, even let's bring an example of seeing people with special needs, especially I will be talking about physical disabilities or some mental disabilities also, which cause behavior challenges. Whenever we notice this type of individual in the society, based on my observation, most of mainstream, most of people they panic naturally because this is not something what they used to. This is not something what they see every day. So most of the time, whenever individuals see a person with the special needs, they just don't know how to respond to this, and they don't know what to do, and then they try to eliminate contact as much as possible, and then they try to get away from it. But there are some countries and cities all around the world where inclusivity is practiced openly and public is educated. Unfortunately, the easiest and the most challenging thing in the real world is that public needs to be educated. Yes, there is individual with special needs. They do their best as much as possible trying to be part of the society. Just because they are different, they need a different approach. Because the approach that they manipulate, that they know does not work for the society. So that's why actually not only individual with special needs should do their best trying to meet the needs and requirements of society, but also the mainstream public, the regular people also, which means as a parent, as an educator, I strongly believe that if the people from early childhood, if they get more interaction with people with special needs, and if they contact as much as possible from the early ages, it makes fine for them to live in the future. Because, for example, when we see, let's say, when we see people with hair or eye color, which is not regular for our society, we just pay attention for a while, and then just because we are in contact with them, we accept them as, I would say, normal people. Just because we have a practice, we had more contact and experience with them, and then we realize that, oh, they are okay, the same people like us. But whenever we see an individual with the key featuring special needs, I'm sorry, we are still there. Thank you. I'm not done with them effective strategies yet. I just wanted to say that here, thank you so much. I just want to say that just because kids are not educated starting from families, we are afraid and we feel sorry, we feel pity for individuals with special needs. And sometimes naturally, we always have a feeling of trying to help this person. For example, even let's say at the cafe, if we see a wheelchair person or a visual impaired person, we try to help, we just naturally go to them, or we just have a desire of wanting to help them. But in fact, maybe they don't need help. Maybe the help that we want, because the help that we want, we think is that this will help them, this will facilitate, but in fact, it diminishes, it underestimates their human dignity. Because in reality, that rather than saying, excuse me, can I help you, please watch out the stairs, or just like, let me open the door for you, do you need the help, give me a hand, we could just say, just like we could just ask a very generic question of saying, hi, my name is blah blah, can I help you, do you need some help, and etc. So we could just a signal rather than just like grabbing the person, let's say with visual impairment, his hand or her hand, and just like walking them, which makes them feel that they are not capable, so they are not as others. So maybe that person we educate our audience that and of course, I do also understand that we don't have time and energy to do all the researches and etc. But if we start taking a teeny tiny actions, one step at a time, one day we will come to it. So I have just mentioned a bit about diverse possible challenges and obstacles when handling students with special needs in the classes. Now, I will be talking about some effective strategies that will help all of us, regardless of the discipline that we teach. First, number one, it's always personal and professional development. So before I move on to describing this bullet point, I would like to ask you, could you please share your opinion? What is professional development and what is personal development? How do you understand? How do you define this phrase? Please feel free to respond. Don't be shy. There is no correct or incorrect answer. We are here just sharing. Professional development, personal development. Yeah, some of you might consider, duh, I know it, so what? Maybe there is a colleague who is not sure what is it, because it's impossible to learn to know everything. So maybe this information is new to some of us. Maybe you have a different definition for this. So please don't be shy. Please feel free to share personal development and professional development. How would you define this? Mm-hmm. Okay. All right. So I
Personal
see here.
development is like
Uh-huh.
personal development is like how we improve ourselves as a person, like our character, or if we have some characters that we have to change. And professional development is how we develop in our profession. For example, our profession is teacher, so how we like improve ourselves as a teacher, like improving our teaching methods or teaching like other like teaching how we like teaching strategies, like how we develop ourselves as a teacher is professional development, and as a person how I change or how I develop, that is a
Absolutely. Absolutely. That's true. Thank you. Thank you so much. Who's next? More ideas, please?
I
Hi.
Yeah, for me, it's my opinion that personal development is continuing learning through education because in education, you can shape your knowledge, skills, and attitude.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That is great. Thank you. Okay.
I think
Mm-hmm.
personal development is little subjective and professional is like objective thing.
Uh-huh. Okay. Tell us more about it. Uh-huh.
Like for personal development, we know where we are and what we need and what we want to develop in ourselves. For professional,
Mm-hmm.
like we are working for other people and other organization. There is some certain rule guidance and other things, so we have to follow that rule regulation and the things. Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Hello.
Okay. Any? Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so for me, personal development is all about how we cope up with ourselves, and it's all about self discipline, our emotional intelligence, developing all of that. While professional development is pertaining to new ideas that we need to cope up in relation uh, with our career, to our and so on. And it's also about improving our performance. So that's it.
Mm-hmm. Awesome. That's great. Thank you so much. I am honored to hearing your opinion and ideas. Thank you so much for your input. Thank you.
Can I add?
Yes,
Hello.
please.
Yeah,
Hello.
according to me, I think most of them told about that personal development is developing ourselves the skills, right? So it's a
Mm-hmm.
lifelong development will be there. And professional is according to how we can achieve our goal in our profession. That is what are strategies like that inclusive. But again, if you think about the inclusive education, I think personally also we have to open our mind and we have to educate ourselves, and then we have to implement into the professional development. When it comes to the inclusive education, both personal as well as professional development is must. Not only I cannot able to make it only it's a professional development, because personally our perspective seeing those type of kids, our way of seeing has to be changed, and we have to change the environment also, whether students or schools. And this is our own goal as well as we have to, then only we can reach the goal in the profession also. So for inclusive education especially, both is must. We have to educate, we have to change our perspective to the students, to special students, and also we have to make use of some strategies to develop them. Thank you.
That is amazing. Thank you so much. Wow, that makes my heart melt. Thank you so much for your sharing. Thank you so much for your information, Miss Chitra. I hope, if I do apologize if I mispronounce your name, because names are always challenging. So apologies. Thank you.
No need of apology, you pronounce it correctly. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Okay, yes, absolutely true. We have to, as a personal development, the best thing that we can do is growing as an individual, learning more about inclusivity and educating. First of all, get learning for us and then practicing it actively in the society. And professional development, of course, the knowledge, the information which is handy to manage inclusivity, to respond to the inclusivity in professional way, especially as a teachers. There are existing tools and techniques and approaches that facilitate that and enlightens, that helps to address the inclusivity. So we do need both personal and professional development. The other strategy would be creating more inclusive classroom environment. And what do you think? What do I mean here when I say inclusive classroom? What is inclusive classroom?
Inclusive classroom. Yeah, inclusive
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
classroom. Okay.
yeah, according
I
to the
try.
inclusive classroom means, suppose if we are handling with special kids and each one has suppose disability we are taking. According to them, we need some technological development, those tools and instruments, whether it is computer or any other thing, or some other students will have the dyslexia problem, and how to handle some tools will be there. Visually impaired means the tools. Those setups in the classroom is to be needed. Normal students also have to be there in the classroom. At the same time, these special children also have to do. According to that, the helpful tools should be available. If it is available in the classroom, then we call this classroom as an inclusive classroom.
That is awesome. Thank you. One more, I heard one of our colleagues
Yeah.
wanted to share. Uh-huh.
Hi, I'm Jessica. So inclusive classroom is wherein the teacher manage all the differentiated kinds of learner, different kinds of learners. So he must be our classroom must be inclusive, and it means that no children are left behind, meaning that all children are able to learn even those are children with special needs. So that's why we use differentiated activities for them to cope up all the activities that is needed in the classroom. So they also learn, while those children with special needs will also given the attention, the learning that they need.
Yeah, that's right. Thank you. Thank you. Absolutely. Inclusive classroom is the environment where students with special needs can participate as much as the mainstream audience. And it can be in form of classroom settings such as inclusive let's say special needs student friendly tables, furniture, or activities, a lesson plan. But at the same time, it can be, if it's possible, teaching the assistants, volunteers, or maybe a family members. I do understand there are some specific rules and regulations, and strangers are not allowed in the class. But if there is a possibility of engaging an assistant who is willing, who is happy to help facilitate voluntarily, that is also inclusive classroom friendly thing. So if there is an opportunity, having assistants, having volunteers, or at the same time having someone from the class, let's say one of the most active, the smartest kid in the class will be more than happy to, let's say, have pretend to be game, because most of the time, most active, the smartest kids wants to be similar to teacher. They want to lead, they want to be active. So this will give them a chance, opportunity to shine. But at the same time, it will be a good practice, a good help for the students with special needs, because as we know, one teacher unfortunately cannot divide into whatever number of students in the classes, and there is no enough energy, there is not enough motivation or just physical time to distribute everything equally. So assistance would be great help. And one of the last thing that I would like to mention about effective strategies that can facilitate is using IMs, accessible educational materials. I'm sure you have heard of it and you are maybe actively using it if needed. But I would like to mention that accessible educational materials can be tools or approaches or devices, let's say, that helps to ease, that helps to facilitate the comprehensible input. For example, thank God internet is full of so diverse resources and IMs. And let's say if there is a visual impaired student in the classroom, there are great platforms or even applications and websites that can voice the text, because as we know, visual impaired person is not able to read the information, but they can always hear. And what I noticed that those speech to text to speech, text to voice apps such as NVDA or JAWS or Be My Eye, they are amazing. They also they are also useful and helpful for the mainstream also, because when it comes to languages, hearing is more important than saying. So listening and speaking, that is something what we should focus more on if we would like to have effective and productive classroom. So those devices, those materials help. Or let's say there are some devices, other than devices, there are some stationery such as low vision papers or braille alphabet, excuse me, notebooks, and also special bumpy dots, which are label markers that helps visual impaired students to feel tactile texture. With the help of those bumpy dots, we can mark, let's say, where is the let's say washing machine. They all the washing machines have the same size buttons, which doesn't make sense for a person with special needs, but it's written. We can only recognize what that button does by what is written there. But those bumpy dots can help people with special needs to recognize which button is what. So we just need to mark and label it properly. The same thing about speech to text. I'm sorry, text to speech, text to voice devices. A regular book can be scanned, and whatever text is on the page can be voiced, which makes it very easy for the visual impaired students also participate. Or let's say if there is a student with cerebral palsy, which is more physical disability rather than mental, most of the time. Big screen, touch screen, devices, tabs, iPads, computers, they can help them to communicate and to present and practice and take active part in the class. But of course, it's all, most of the time, these resources are not available because they are pricey, but nevertheless, they do exist. And if you can bring other examples on IMs, please feel free to share. Okay, if we are good, we can move on to next slide, maybe. So this slide, I really love this quote. There are many cool, amazing, inspirational, and motivational quotes by famous people, quotes about inclusivity. But I really love this specific one, which says, diversity is fact and inclusion is an act. Of course, it can be interpreted in different ways, but the way how I understand and what is very catchy for me in this is that diversity is reality that any family can face, then is the fact that every teacher can face, and the response to address is only inclusivity. So this is the way how I interpret it, and this is by Zabin Hirji, if I'm pronouncing the person who this quote belongs to. This was very touchy for me. So thank you so much. Now, please, let's move on to the second part of it. But before we move on to low resource context teaching, please, if you have any questions regarding inclusivity, feel free to ask now. Otherwise, I'll be more than happy to have virtual chats with you separate individually, so we can discuss more and more and it'll be like care to share kind of approach. So please feel free to ask questions if you have. And now we will be moving on to second part of my presentation, which is teaching in low resource context. Again, I would like to ask now this time, we do see the difference between these two pictures that is from real life pictures, but could anybody tell me what is at least one similarity? What is common? What do these two pictures have in common? Is there any colleague who would like to share? What is in common between these two pictures?
I see
Something
that both are like
Thank you. Apologies. Yes, please.
Yeah, like both are like classroom scenarios. Both the pictures are like from a classroom scenario.
There was another.
Or at least students, like some people are trying to learn in both the scenarios.
Absolutely. Yes. Thank you. That's right. These.
Morning. I think that in the first picture, there are all features, all conditions were created for students, but in the next picture, there is no normal condition for students. The main reason is,
Yes,
and
right.
I would like to add, I had poor connection. That's why I couldn't say anything about my thoughts about my ideas about inclusive education. I think that we should be so sensitive, sensitive while teaching inclusive students.
Absolutely. That's right. Thank you. That's totally right.
Maria here from Pakistan, and I would like to add that in the first picture, can you hear me?
Yes, yes, please.
Okay, in the first picture, in both pictures, students are fully engaged in the class. In the first one, the students and the teachers are using resources, tech-aided resources to teach the students, whereas in the second one, we don't have any resource, no proper classroom, and students are still involved in studying.
Absolutely, absolutely. That is totally right. Thank you. Thank you so much for sharing, dear colleagues. Yes, these two pictures represent totally different, opposite reality, but one thing in common that students in both pictures, they are thirsty to acquire the information. They want to learn. They are attentively listening, trying to participate, trying to learn. This is something that in common, both reality, both pictures, students in both pictures, they want to study. They are interested, they are engaged, they want to learn. Of course, reality on the left picture is the environment where the access to interactive technology, diverse materials and resources, and collaborative spaces that enrich creativity and critical thinking, communication skills, and they can facilitate. These things can easily bring up a very confident individual. But the reality on the right picture, unfortunately, low resource context can trigger things such as severely limited access to essential educational tools, materials, tips, and resources can be difficult for teaching effectively, and even less will be produced, the less information will be produced as a learning outcome. So unfortunately, resources do influence and they do facilitate the process of learning information. So next slide, please. Now let's please a bit talk about the challenges and the obstacles that low resource context may have. First of all, of course, very obvious, mostly widely known is lack of educational resources. This is one of the biggest challenges that teachers all around the world face on a day-to-day basis, and it makes it very challenging and difficult to have more engaging, interactive teaching and learning. The second one is limited access or no access to online resources. This is also a challenge because at least if there is some internet, teachers can use and also students can practice and implement some online resources to help them to learn. And it does not matter whatever discipline, whatever field, whatever subject are they into, whether if it's math or English or physics and etc. And the third one is, of course, poor classroom management. This is one of the challenges and obstacles that can make a learning process slow down because sometimes we see that there are some resources in the classrooms and the classrooms are pretty well equipped just because poor classroom management setting. And I'm not talking about only the furniture in the class, I'm talking about the lesson planning, and I'm talking about the way how teacher is can handle students' attention and keep them engaged throughout the class. If as an educators we don't take care of these things in advance, then it also may result as a teaching in not effective teaching, I would say. So if you know any other potential obstacles and challenges that triggers a low resource context, please feel free to share. Okay. Then I would like to add that this is the real world examples, and unfortunately not all the classrooms in the world, not all the teachers can provide and afford all the resources to teach in a very fully furnished and resourceful and interactive and engaging and motivating settings. But it also always falls on a teacher. If the teacher has a desire, there is and creativity, of course, we can always come up with cool idea, cool method, effective approach of handling it. Now let's please move on to effective strategies and some tips that I would like to share with you. What can help us increase student motivation, regardless of whatever classroom setting, regardless of whatever resources are available? I think, as far as I have witnessed for these many years, teachers are always responsible for someone's failure or success when it comes to motivation. This is a resource that we have. This is a human resource. This is energy. This is our desire to help our students. So regardless of whatever classroom setting, if the teacher has a desire and wish to help, to motivate and engage, encourage their students, then this is doable. So increased student motivation can address low resource teaching context, because unfortunately it happens that it all costs money and many schools around the world naturally cannot afford. But inspiring your students, sparking the desire, the idea, this is something that this is the resource that we have as an individual. This is the resource that we have as a teacher, and we can implement it. The second is second option is fostering student autonomy. This is also a great resource where there is low resource environment. The third one is assigning project-based teaching approach. It's also known widely as a PBL, project-based learning. In some context, it's known as a project-based teaching. I hope you are familiar with the PBL, with the project PBT. If not, please let us know. We will be briefly sharing what is it. But if you are familiar with the project-based teaching approach, that is great. But if you are practicing it, it's even better. So here I would like to say thank you to every single colleague here who assigns project-based tasks to the students. Now, let's move on to next slide, next page. And here I have some activities, some information, a table that will help, that will be useful to practice project-based learning or project-based teaching. For example, what kind of comprehensible input do we need to trigger effective learning outcome? And now we all know that there are receptive language learning skills and productive language learning skills. And listening and reading is receptive skill because it means that we acquire, we learn, we learn the information and we digest it. So the first step, this is input. So what resources can be used as a great input here? TED Talks, YouTube, phone calls, books, graded readers, text messages, online researches, and etc. Are you familiar with TED Talks? I'm sure, I hope. Yes, you are familiar, but if not, I strongly recommend you check. You can Google for it, and this is an amazing website. This is an amazing platform where people from diverse field, diverse field can conduct a very most of the time short 5 to 10 minute motivational speeches. They also share their experience, their techniques, their inventions, and etc. And what is good about TED Talks is that you can find from A1 level to C2 level of CFR videos. So even your very beginner students, low elementary level students can benefit from the TED Talks because there are short 3 to 5 minutes videos where the speaker uses a very comprehensible, very easy to understand level of English, but at the same time, they share with the idea. They share with some type of their strong desire, opinion, experience, fact, and etc. So TED Talks would be great comprehensible input. And just reading books or watching movies or reading authentic audio materials or authentic written materials can be very helpful and very interesting to the students. But of course, even if we operate in a low resource context, there is always a way for a teacher to find about these options that is here. So these listed here can help, can ease, can facilitate comprehensible input. And as a productive skill, as a learning outcome, speaking and writing tells us, indicates how well did our student acquire the language. So here is the list of possible things that we can assign our students, such as video logs, movie clips, phone calls, like blogs, essays, and etc. PPT presentations, poster craft presentations, book project report, and etc. So because these all triggers the language production, and we can see the output here. For example, let's take a video logs. Have you ever practiced video logs, whether if it's individual or group? Mm-hmm. By the way, these video logs can be practiced in any English language, whether if it's general English or English for academic purposes, English for specific purposes, it does no matter. It can be implemented, it can be assigned to a student at a diverse English language learning. For example, let me please ask you, what do you think for English, for ESP, English for specific purposes, what type of video log activity assignment can be, a task can be assigned to the students, to the English for specific purposes? Let's say medical personnel who learn, let's say, pre-intermediate level of English. What video log ideas would be suitable for this audience? What do you think? All right, then let's take another example. The same video logs, let's say for primary primary school, general English learners with elementary level. Let's say year 5 to 7. What can you assign? What type of video log assignment can be given as a task to 5 to 7-year-old children who speak only very basic elementary English? What type of topics can we come up as a video log activity?
Introduction.
That's right.
Perhaps there will be some videos related to animals because they will love animals if we ask them to watch these videos. They will have a great love for animals. I think so.
That is right. And after watching these amazing videos about animals, those students can record a video logs about their favorite animal, and they can maybe make up 3 sentences describing their favorite animals, and that is already a great achievement. Because yes, absolutely. First watching about the animals and then having your students saying couple sentences describing their personalizing tasks, describing their favorite animals can help a lot, and it can help them to achieve more. It can help them to gain more confidence in spoken English, especially when they are recorded, because as a human being, not all of us will love being recorded, especially looking at the camera and just trying to say anything. It makes us very uncomfortable because maybe we don't have that much experience. That's why maybe we are introverts and etc. So for little kiddos who are only, let's say, 6 years old, saying 3 sentences about their animals can be as equal to writing, I don't know, master's degree thesis for a professional. So, but if they practice it, if they get used to it, it becomes better, and it reflects in a very stronger, better, productive skills. So this is just as an example you can come up with. If the individual is if you see that if it's a first-time experience for children, for adults, for anyone, you can assign group video logs where several participants take part in just like adding their part of the information, just trying to make them feel a bit relaxed in the group. Okay, because we are short in time, if you are interested in learning more about the table above, please feel free to reach out. I will be sharing my personal contact info. Please feel free. So now I would like to wrap up this part of a very short and practical session. Is the Sir Frederick Douglass once said that it's always easier to build strong children rather than repairing a broken man. So again, it can be interpreted in diverse ways, but the way how I understand, it's always easier for a teacher to teach and to make sure that a child or the learner had great comprehensible input rather than educating the same individual 20, 30 years later. And the quality and quality will be totally different. So it's always more effective if we start as early as possible rather than diving into something at the, let's say, adolescence. So thank you so much. And here I just included the resources, pictures that I used from Google Images from diverse free image online Google search, I'm sorry. And here you can find information about me. Please feel free to reach out. In Turkmenistan, I have established independent community of teachers where teachers, not only English language educators, but teachers from different discipline or teachers who practice CLIL methodology, which means where the teachers who teach biology or math in English, we all gather together, try to share information about the latest trends in English language teaching, and also we help the students who are looking for a tutor, try to meet. This is all personal volunteer basis level in my initiative. So I am very happy. Feel free to join us. Also in our community, we exchange information about exchange and professional development programs run through not only US government, but apologies, but some British government or some other foreign missions in our country, and not only, because there are existing short-term exchange programs, professional development programs, and academic development programs, such as, let's say, a Chevening program, or let's say Fulbright T program, SUSI, or and etc. So we share information, and by the way, as far as I understand, this is applicable to all countries around the world. You just need to check the website on whatever mission in your country, whatever embassy. Most of the time they do have their professional development projects, exchange programs for teachers. So in our community, we share information about that also. So thank you so much. If you have questions, please feel free to chime in. I forgot to turn on my camera. Thank you so much for your time and energy. Thank you so much for your contribution. And I am thankful to you on behalf of every single parent who is aware and non-aware of how much hard work you are doing. And I totally agree and understand that teaching is one of the most underpaid jobs around the world. Regardless of whatever is our max salary, max is still whatever we do, it's one of the most expensive values to the world, because we bring up bright generation, and we also at the same time, we are the reasons we might on purpose or accidentally trigger someone's failure just because we as a teachers, as an educators, are not doing our job properly. But if you are today, it means already you have been contributing so much to the education, to the society. And this is a very, I would say, inner level, soul level value. It cannot be bought, it cannot be purchased. So we are bringing up the future of our world. Thank you so much, everyone, for your time. Thank you so much for your energy, and eagerly looking forward to hearing from you. Please stay in touch.
Thank you so much, Miss Maya, for the great session, and also for all the participants who actively sharing with us today. Is there anyone who want to respond or continuing the discussion? We still have like 14 minutes of our time today. It was so interesting. Yes, Miss Maya. Miss Karen, do you have anything to say?
Yes, I'm saying she added so much value because a lot of the things that she went through on the slide, it like brought up some memories. Like sometimes I'm with a personal development, I'm into AI. And sometimes I get so caught up catching up with the trends because it's moving so fast. I kind of forget some of the things that I used to do that were so very effective. So like when she brought out the video vlog, I said, wait, I used to use that and the kids used to really like it where they didn't have to talk in the classroom because they say not everybody likes public speaking and so when I gave that assignment, that was a way to differentiate those who like to speak in class, they'd go ahead and speak in class, but those who like were a little shyer and so forth, they would have already recorded their response on the video blog and we would play that in class, or even sometimes they'd send me a little message and say, Miss, don't play it in class, but this is my response. I was like, I haven't used that in a very long time. And I'm here searching for the app that I used to use to do that because I don't even remember what it was. So thank you very much for the reminder because it really was a way to give them a way to express and tell their thoughts without feeling threatened or inferior just because they can't speak out in public. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. My pleasure. Thank you so much. Thank you. I feel blessed to be here today. Thank you so much, dear colleagues.
Okay, thank you so much, Miss Karen, for that nice response. Okay, anyone else want to give response or anything you want to discuss before we end the session? Okay, so there is a chat box from Miss Suma. It's a fantastic session and informative. Thank you so much. Expecting the session of the same scale in the future too. Thank you, Miss Suma. Miss Gazala Parven said very much informative session. Miss Chitra said thank you for this fruitful session. Hope in the future we'll in touch. Okay, and Miss Tehran said great thanks for this essential and crucial session. Okay, thank you so much, Miss Maya, for the session. I learned a lot. Yeah.
Yay, thank you.
And yeah, don't forget to fill the attendance link because we will share to you all the material from Miss Maya. And yeah, this is come to end of our session. Next week we will have other speaker, Mr. Arnel from Philippines, but he is teaching in Dubai. So hopefully everyone can join for the next session also. Thank you so much, Miss Maya, for the
Thank
session.
you. Thank you.
And yeah, before we end, I think I would like to share a bit about I don't know, this is can be a personal development for a student or maybe for the teacher. So IGN, International Global Network, the founder of Global Teacher Association, has the event name MUN, about MUN thing. Yeah, it's actually already run since 2016 and now is 2024, so it's already for 8 years. And I would like to inform a bit. There is a collaborator, teacher collaborator. We know that teacher need a personal development and also professionally, but also we are responsible for how we can lift up the not only ourselves but also the student. So what we do in International Global Network is an organization that focus on youth development through self-discovery. And this Global Teacher Association is the program that focus on teachers or educators. So what we do for the youth, we have a Model United Nation event. What is Model United Nation? Maybe some of you already know about it, but if not, the Model United Nation is a simulation of how exactly the United Nation conference is being held. But it's not only that, but actually the purpose is how can everyone be actively on many events. I mean, like seminar or debates or something like that. And this is the place where the student can experience as a diplomat, discussing global issues and finding solution to real world problem following the United Nations procedures. And also, this is the series of the activities. There is an open ceremony. There is a grand symposium. Usually, there is someone expert or higher commission or something that will come and giving the grand symposium. And before we start the MUN event, we will have MUN 101. There will be a board. Someone who lead and inform how the MUN will run. And then there is gala dinner, of course, also meeting session where everyone, the student will represent what country, not only their own country, but they will choose which country and which council like WHO or UNICEF or any other UN bodies. And also there is a city tour. And then at the end, there is a closing ceremony and cultural night. And during the closing ceremony and cultural night, there is an awarding session. So in each council, there will be like, something like, they will get the points, who is get the higher, and who can be a best delegate, most outstanding delegate, and so on. And there they will get the international certificates. Yeah. Right now, today, the event is held was held in Bangkok. So, what is the benefit of participating this MUN? Yes, what Miss Maya just said about personal development for us as a teacher, but this one is for the student. There will be public speak. I mean, like we for the personal development, we are learn how to do public speaking, debate skill, critical thinking, problem solving, etc. Okay. 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 And also academic growth and also networking. So that is for the student actually, but also for the teacher is the same, because many of the collaborator teacher, if you can how I will tell you later, but this is also good for us as a teacher or educator if you can bring the student to this event. So what is the benefit for us as a teacher or an educator? First, we will earn $50. It's not that big, but I think this is something really good. If to add more, what is it? To add more, additional for us. We're not much doing anything, but we can get the earning. And then the second is if we can bring 12 or more students and earn complimentary registration, we can get full accommodation for us as a teacher or educator to access the international events. And also include the flight ticket reimbursement up to 600 USD dollar, US dollar. So I think this is very good for us to connect each other, not only not only coming to the event where only ourselves, but also we can bring our student there. And hopefully someday we can have a meet up offline for us as a educator. So what is the closest events? There is an Asia Youth International MUN 16, and it will held on 17th to 20th January in Kuala Lumpur. The place will be in Berjaya Times Square Hotel Kuala Lumpur, and the council that will run is UNICEF, WHO. UNICEF is preventing the recruitment of child soldier, and then WHO is discussing about resilience and sustainability in establishing healthcare system. UNFCCC enhancing the implementation of the Paris Agreement in the reduction of greenhouse gas emission. UNGA is addressing the impact of discrimination on youth, and also ILO addressing multilateral framework on labor migration. And the program, this is the 2025 program, so not only the January but also at the other events, and we are not only held in the event in Malaysia or Bangkok, but also in some other countries. So the IMON 16 will be in Kuala Lumpur, January, and then AWMUN 10 will be May until June in Bangkok again. And AWMUN 11 will be in Seoul, South Korea. And then IMON 18 will be in Kuala Lumpur. And AWMUN 12 will be in Bali. And then IMON will be in Bangkok. So you can mark this one, and then you can bring your student to the event. And how is the registration? So this is not free, but this is professionally led and also held or coordinating but by our professional team. So there is an registration fee. Of course, it will be different country, different price. For the IMON 16 in Malaysia, for full accommodation is 749 US dollar, and non-accommodation will be 599 US dollar. So if you can bring, so this price is for one student. So if you can get one student and register to us, you can get $50 fee, yeah, commission fee. And then if you can bring 12, remember to this slide, if you can bring 12, you can or more, you can get a free access, the reimbursement ticket up to 600 USD. So yeah, there is the information of the MUN events. If you want to be a collaborator for this event, you can contact our team, or you can contact me first, or Mr. Hamad or Mr. Berlian. He is in the group also, and then we will direct contacting you to Miss Ayu as PIC for this program at the Global Teacher Association team. Okay, so yeah, that is all the information that I want to share. If you have any question, please ask. Maybe 1 minute. Okay, so if there is no question, again, thank you so much, Miss Maya. Thank you so much, all the participants. Each one of you is our speaker as our active participant. So don't forget to fill the link. Whether you want to be a moderator, you want to be speaker. Next week, we will have Mr. Arnel from UIA as our speaker. And next week again, we will have from Philippines also, Dr. Wan. So I think if you want to be a moderator, please let me know or let us know. Just contact us or through email or to our colleague Juhamad, or you can contact me from on WhatsApp. Let us know. So if there is no other question or comments, we may close the session today. Thank you so much. Have a good nice day today and see you next week. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Thank you, everyone. Looking forward. Stay in touch, please.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Thank you so much. Oh, do you want to take a picture?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, let's take a
Let's have a
picture.
group
Please
photo.
open. Yeah, I know. I always forget to take a picture. Okay, let's take a picture. Group pictures. Yes.
Yay. Thank you, everyone. Thank you
Yay.
so much.
Wow. Okay. So anyone want to join again? Please open. I count 1 to 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, let's take a picture. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay. Wait more with different angle. Sorry. Okay. Sorry. I don't know why. Wait. Oh no, what happened? Okay, so 1, 2, 3. Okay. Okay, great. Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you, Miss Maya.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Looking forward seeing you in the future. Thank you for an amazing opportunity.
Thank you so much. Bye-bye.